Hey, so currently I'm sitting in Paris, which is super casual, but right now you are about to see my video that I made of when I went to Barcelona, Spain. And so for those of you who don't know, I am about to be a junior at San Diego State, and for my major, which is elementary education, I'm required to study abroad. So I am on my way to England to study abroad for the semester, but before I got there, me and my mom decided to take a little 2-week European vacation together. So we are going to Barcelona, Paris, Amsterdam, and London before I head to school in England. So for my friends and family who obviously aren't with me, I wanted to kind of document it, and also for my future reference, I wanted to be able to look back on these videos and kind of see what I did. So sorry if I'm super awkward, I can't really help it, but this is kind of my vacation through my eyes and what I saw. So I'll kind of be cutting in and narrating for some of it and just kind of letting you know what was going on in some of the clips and the highlights of my trip. So get excited.
On your way to Barcelona.
Get me questions, politics.
Ooh, crazy's what they think about me. Ain't gonna stop 'cause they tell me so. 'Cause 99 miles per hour, baby, is how fast that I like to go.
Alright, so the first clip that you're going to be watching is a tour of the Airbnb that we stayed in Barcelona. It was really cool. It's right across the street from kind of the beach area where all the boats were docked and things like that. And it was also right at the beginning of the Gothic Quarter, so that was super awesome. When you walk in the front door, here's the first bathroom. Looks like this. Then you turn around and come in. Here's our dining room. There's Mom. Here's Mom's room. Looks like this. Here's her view into the alleyway. Then here's her bathroom. Looks like that. And then you come out, and this is our main living space, but first you turn into our kitchen. It looks like this. And this is the main living space and a little sitting room. This is our view out our window. And then if you walk up these stairs, you go into my loft. And so there's my bed, and from my bed, get kind of an aerial view. And you can see out the window, and there's all this cool brick detailing on the sides, and that is our Spain Airbnb. So it's our first full day in Barcelona. We're about to go get some food and go explore the Gothic Quarter and see some of the really famous buildings and whatnot. So get hyped. Alright, so we were about 2 steps outside of our apartment and I missed a stair and fell down, and now my ankle hurts really bad, so I'll keep you updated. So right off the bat, when we were about to go out into the Gothic Quarter for the very first time, I fell down on the stairs that came out of our apartment, and I twisted my ankle and like bruised the top of my foot. So that was a great way to start the trip. I just completely missed one of the steps because I was wearing my sunglasses inside and just ate it. And I was not used to that because I don't usually fall down very often. But I was kind of thrown off by that. And then throughout the rest of the day, I kept tripping on curbs and who knows what else. But that was pretty crazy. But my foot's good now and fully functional.
Can't keep up with my rhythm though. They keep trying, too quick for the lines they throw. I walk to the sound of my own drum. It goes, they go, we go. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're currently at Parc des Ciudels, looking at lots of statues and whatnot. Not really sure who they are, but pretty neat stuff. We are at a castle thing that says dragons on it. Castel dels Tres Dragons. So let me show you what it looks like. That means Castles of the Three Dragons, in case you were wondering. I know most of you watching this aren't that good at Spanish, but I am a professional, so I'll do my best to translate for you. So as we were walking through the park, my mom's was the most excited to see the giant water fountain. So we finally found it and there was no water in it. So that was kind of disappointing, but it was still really pretty. Across the street and we're at the Spanish Arc de Triomphe, which I thought was just in France, but apparently there's one here too. So here it is. So after we went to the Spanish Arc de Triomphe, we meandered around the Gothic Quarter for what seemed like forever looking for the Picasso Museum, because I remember learning about Picasso in the 2nd grade and just being obsessed. So I was super excited to find out that they had a Picasso Museum. So we just roamed around in circles, but we finally found it, but we weren't allowed to film in there, so I don't have any clips of that. But it was super cool to get to read all about him and to see the progression of his artwork from when he was first starting out as an art student to when he became the master that he was. We just went to the Picasso Museum, but we couldn't film in there, and now we're trying to find the cathedral, and we think we found it, but we're not quite sure. So, but it's super pretty. Picasso Museum, we decided to like roam around the Gothic Quarter a little more, and we stumbled upon the cathedral that's there, not to be confused with the Familia building, which I'll be talking about later, but it was the cathedral there. And so we were like, oh yeah, this is so cool, let's go inside. And I noticed a sign for a dress code and it said that you couldn't show your shoulders, and my mom was wearing a sleeveless shirt, so I was like, oh, what a scrub, like just gonna have to wear a scarf. But then the lady told me that my shorts were too short, so I had to wear a scarf around it and I looked ridiculous. So I'll insert a picture of that right now. But yeah, that was really embarrassing. But the inside of the building was absolutely beautiful and it was super cool to walk around.
They say I'm a walking dreamer, baby. If I stopped, it would make the show. Can't keep up with my rhythm, though. They keep trying, too quick for the lines they throw. I walk to the...
And that night, we went back to our apartment and we got all dressed up and we went to a 360 rooftop bar to watch the sunset, and that was absolutely amazing. You could see all the sights of Barcelona and there were little signs that kind of told you what everything was that we were looking at, and it was so awesome. And so I'll be kind of giving you a little look around that right now. Currently on a rooftop bar in the heart of Barcelona, sipping my mojito with
Cheers.
Annie.
No.
I'll show you the view.
sound of my own drum. It goes, they go, we go. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, here we go. Feeling in my...
Over here we can see the ocean, and there's the Christopher Columbus monument. And right over here, that's the cathedral that we were at earlier today. And then right over here on this little hilltop, you can see the Familia de Sigrid building. As we were walking through the Gothic Quarter, there were really cute little playgrounds and little kids playing soccer on the street, and it was so adorable to get to see kind of how the local kids live their lives. And it was kind of late at night and they were just out there playing, and it was so cute to see. Cute little kids playing soccer. And as we were walking around, we found this really cute restaurant that had food that we were actually excited to eat because I'm a very picky eater, so I was really unsure about a lot of the Spanish food. But we found this restaurant and it ended up being absolutely amazing. I kind of branched out and got like shrimp, and it had the eyes on it still, which was kind of scary, but it was really good. And tried a Spanish omelet, and that was amazing. It's just like potato, which who doesn't love potatoes? And then we had an amazing like chocolate lava cake dessert that was really good. So that was a really great way to end our night. So going into our next day, we woke up and got all ready and went and got croissants at a local bakery that was right by our apartment, and I also got like a giant fruit juice that was delicious. And then we started our trek for the day. This was definitely our more active day where we walked a lot more, but we walked and we went to the Gaudi apartments, and we got to see the apartments that the famous architect Gaudi designed, and so that was really interesting to learn kind of all about him. And we were going to go to a lot of his other works in Barcelona later that day, so that was awesome to kind of learn about him before we went to all those other places. After we went to the apartments, we walked all the way to La Familia Sagrada, which means the Sacred Family, and it was amazing. It looked kind of like a sand castle that you like drip wet sand, so that was interesting to kind of see that, and there was a lot of detail there. But we found out that the tickets were sold out for the next 4 hours, so we bought the tickets there. And then the thing that I was the most excited for in Barcelona was to go to the park called Parc de Güell. So Parc de Güell is a park designed by the architect Gaudi that was originally intended to be a housing development, but it failed, so now it's just a park. And it's really cool because it has views of the entire city, and the main part there is like the monument garden, but we didn't go and see that. Instead, we just walked around and looked at all the views of Barcelona. Afterwards, we went to La Familia Sagrada, and it was a church that was also built by Gaudi, and it's really famous, and it looks kind of like a sand castle dripping that you would make at the beach. But it's just really cool, and the outside is very detailed, but the inside is a lot more simple. So that was something that was like pretty interesting about that, but it was really cool to get to see both of those things. So after we went to La Familia Sagrada, We went back to our apartment and we decided that we wanted to go to the beach because it was my goal to dip my feet into the Mediterranean Ocean. So we went to the beach that was closest to our apartment and it was insane. There were so many people everywhere and everyone was just on top of each other, which I'm not used to coming from like Santa Barbara beaches. It was a lot more similar to the beaches that are in San Diego. It was absolutely insane and there were people everywhere trying to sell random things from towels to drinks to massages. It was just kind of creepy and the sand was so coarse and just unlike anything that I've really experienced, but it was still really nice to get to be at the beach probably for the last time for a while. And I even got to dip in, which was awesome. The water was super warm, super salty, but it was really nice and a great way to end the day. And after we went to the beach, we went to the W Hotel, which is a huge hotel that's on the beach kind of, and so we went up to the rooftop there and we had drinks and some appetizers, and that was really fun to get to see a different kind of sunset from a rooftop. We got to watch over the ocean. We didn't actually get to see the sunset, but we could see all of Barcelona for the most part and get to look out over the ocean. And the bar was very poppin'. There was like a lot of disco lights and trendy music, and so that was really fun. And then the night was over and I was absolutely exhausted from walking so much that day, and so we just hit the hay. And then we woke up the next morning and we're on our way to Paris, which is where I'm at now. So stay tuned for a while. In a few days I'll have the video from Paris up to keep you posted on all of our adventures. I think Paris is going to be a pretty funny one. Bye, I'll see you soon. I'm so awkward. I don't even know like